Folks, welcome to race number 21 of the Bwoah Racing League, and we head to Sao Paulo, Brazil for the title fight, which continues. I'm Sarthak, and alongside me, since recently as always, Dalvin. What's up, Dalvin?
I'm good, Sarthak. Welcome back. Thanks for having me again once. As always, it's been a pleasure in the last race, and I think the championship fight is pretty tight at the top. It's 8 points separating P1 and P2.
Yep.
One slip up and the other guy's gonna take it home today.
And guess what, Dalvin? General Pepe is not going to be out on track. We've got 15 drivers out on track, and General Pepe aren't one of them.
That is some drama. Okay, we have something on our hands today, folks.
Yep. Which means KDB has to finish third or below to make sure General Pepe is still in the fight. If KDB manages to finish P1 or P2, he goes home with the championship today.
Yes, that's a pretty tight one, and especially in Brazil, where overtaking is pretty simple. You definitely want to keep your nose clean over here. I think this KDB, he wants to win this, given that his title rival is not here. And if he can get a good result, it's going to be a very big cushion heading into Abu Dhabi, and having every single point of cushion, it's going to help you in the last race. You can ask me, I can say it's nerve-wracking.
Of course. And a moment, Dalvin, because we got both the racing points and formation drive for us just for the stream to highlight that they have won the Constructors title this season. KDB and Sicknick, 2 front row lockouts, one and the only 1-2 finish in the league so far. A brilliant season for both drivers. Sicknick, in fact, switched from the controller to the wheel only this season, and he's performed incredibly. Thoughts on KDB's racing since you saw him race, go wheel to wheel, in fact, with General Pepe last race?
Well, it was nerve-wracking, definitely, to watch. I could feel as if I was in there, having experienced that. In Mexico especially, it's not the easiest thing to do, going side by side into turn 1, turn 2 and 3, and even in the middle sector, and just a slight tap and you're into the walls. But kudos to those guys, they kept it very clean even at the front, and they were just playing mind games with each other, charging up their ERS, going for the attack and letting the other guy through, and he just unraveled in the last few laps. It was a really good battle, and today I guess he's going to have it easier, but you never know. Brazil always gives a treat here.
Of course. We got the likes of Albi Ferrero and Sicknick out on track, trying to set the first set of fast lap times. Let me just pull up a bit of data for the viewers and the team principals who watch as they're in the ears of the drivers. So Dalvin, like you mentioned before, clearly you've gone down to the wire with the title fight as well, and you've raced on Brazil, and like you mentioned, PTSD. Thoughts on the track itself? Do you enjoy it? And what are a couple of the key things drivers have to look out for?
I really enjoy it. It's probably one of my better tracks. Probably not on pace, one lap pace, but at least on the race pace, it's really good. And I just enjoy the flow of the track. It's pretty technical, a lot of high speed, low speed. Strategy-wise, it's a very simple one-stop over here. Softs to mediums, soft to hards, both are viable. And throw in a safety car or a VSC, and you can see everyone diving in for an early stop. And tire wear, it's going to be pretty crucial at the end. Overtaking, pretty simple, pretty easy if you can follow someone through sector 2, and you'll get the run. Very, very big toe, and the DRS is going to help you get the move done. But if you fall out of the 1 second, and if you're equal on pace, good luck for you. You're not going to be catching back up very soon.
Good. And as you talk about race strategy and whatnot, Mr. Wex sets the fastest lap time out there, 1 minute 7.547. Sicknick goes second fastest, which is great to see. And we got the likes of the old guard, which T56 and Accelerate out on track as well, setting their lap times. What's your quickest time around this track, Dalvin?
My quickest? I can't remember. We had a dry quali with a full wet race, inters race. So we're somewhere around the 6s, 106.5. I can't remember. I'll pull it up in a moment in the next interval, so I'll let you know.
Yeah, and unfortunate for Horning, he seems to have disqualified from the session, which means he'll be started from the back of the pack. Starting from 15 is going to be tough. Tough for him overall this season. They had a couple of highs earlier on with the 2 front row lockouts they had, the Mercedes, him and Fries. But of course, Fries didn't manage to come and race in the latter half of the season as much. So it was all left up to Horning. And today it looks like he's got a last to first challenge in his hands.
It wouldn't be pretty bad. I mean, you are on the alternate strategy from the back, so you definitely can start on the mediums, take it very long, go deep into the race. You can run about 20-25 laps on it, and whenever the safety car comes out, you will be the golden opportunity. So, Horning, he may be disqualified, but let's not run him out of the race just yet, especially if his rivals up front are starting on the softs. He's in a pretty good strategic position here.
And KDB just set the fastest lap time, 1 minute 7.283.
You the Bottas tradition memes, I guess.
Yeah.
Always KDB on the front.
We got the Williams looking quite competitive out there today. Only copied 4th fastest lap time, and Hyrox 24 in the top 10 as well.
Yep, pretty good times. Signic now, going out again, very quick from him. He's in a rush to set some good times here. I think Racing Point are on to something here. They are trying to seal the 1-2 here, and Signic is probably going to play the Valkyrie game here and just hold out the rest of the field and let KDB run away with the win. And you know, that's not a bad thing, given that team orders are allowed in league races and in F1 in general. So anything to secure the championship, it will work.
Of course. Oh, we got quite the race in our hands. 11 minutes left for top qualifying to end, and looks like RB Fellow out on track, making sure he's not impeding anyone's lap. Taking his time. Baby Shumi and SV11, 2 drivers out on track who are yet to set a lap time.
Kapi has disconnected. It's going to be costing him some crucial time to reconnect. Will he be able to get his second run in? And most importantly, will he be able to keep his top 5 over here?
Stay on board, Baby Shumi, as he starts a fast lap of his own. He's already on a fast lap, so even better. He's going to sector 2.
Not sure if he backed out there or he had a very poor sector there. Baby Shumi running up the last corner. Not really a corner in these modern cars, but still a corner. And across the line, he gets a 1:108.3. Alright, that's a pretty competitive time. Puts him in P9 for the time being. He has to start on these softs. Will he be relegated? Will he stay up here? Let's see the second half of the qualifying. Last one, preparing for his fast lap. Big Man Joe goes speed 2. Go Alpha, go!
Well, you drive the Alfa Romeo in your league, don't you, Dalvin?
And you can say I'm a big fan of Alphas. I mean, the car is a good livery, a very, very nice livery. It's a red and white, pretty simple. Even the 2021, I'd say it's even better than the 2020 livery. So yeah. Mr. Vex slightly shaky on the exit of the Senna SS there. Very good first sector. Nicely done through turn 4, turn 5, pretty clean. Now coming up to the infield section. Nicely done on the inside. Clips the curb, rides the curb. No problem with turning in at all. Coming to the end of sector 3, sector 2, a bit wide there. That's going to cost him at least 3 or 4 tenths. And he has left the session. Okay, something's happening to Mr. Vex. He might have disconnected.
Just over 8 minutes left into short qualifying. Okay, because I was just checking something with production, which I will solve soon enough. Either way, his fastest lap time out there, KDB. Big Man Joe's second fastest, Mr. Weck's third fastest. It's interesting to see 2 out of the 3 drivers in the top 3 are on controller rather than wheel.
Well, it is pretty OP around here, especially on the starts. It's an uphill start, and uphill starts tend to play with the pads. So if these 3 boys over here, they can get a good start, I think they're gonna run away for the first few laps. But will they be able to hold on to the tires for long enough? Will they be able to preserve it? The wheel tends to be better on tire wear. That's where it may come down to today. ADB pushing very hard on his lap here.
Great to see both Renaults in the top 5 for Javi and Mr. Weck right up there. Sickling looks like he's on the back foot. Everyone expected him to be in the top 3 today. Seemed like he was almost pulling away in practice, and that could be the case, but meanwhile his teammate sets a purple sector 2 once again.
And yeah, 106 point something here. It's gonna be the first one to drop into the 6s. Oh, he misses it just by 0.087. Very close. Third round might be the charm, I guess.
Perhaps. Seems like he lost out on a bit of time. But it looks like there's a Red Bull out on track with an issue perhaps, or maybe RB Ferrero lowballing this qualifying session just to ensure he gets the last to first challenge done this time around again.
Well, it seems to be a trend nowadays towards the end of the season, especially if you're out of contention for a championship or another position. Might as well go for the fun, right?
Yep. Of course. He's got the 3rd spot in the drivers' standings pretty much sealed. He's got no one to worry about behind him, and yeah, he's too far off to the front runners in terms of points. So yeah, 3rd place in the driver's standings goes to RB Ferrero. You can pretty much seal that right now.
He's just exploring the injuries and the track limits. I guess waving to the Brazilian fans.
Take a look at this, Dalvin. Big Man George just set a purple sector 1. He's on a flying lap.
Go Alpha, come on. You can do it.
Sector 2. Another driver on fast lap is Sicknick. He's someone you need to be worried about. He's back on the wheel this weekend. Missed out on
Big
last
Joe,
race.
2 tenths up on his time. Looks like he is snatching the pole. It might be very close. He seems to have the best exit out of the last corner. He's taking the shortest line. Cross the line. Ooh. Oh! 7,000. He misses pole just by 7,000. Keeps it in P2 for the moment. KDB has the challenge for today. Championship is not over. You gotta work for it, KDB. Show us you can do it.
He's in the pits right now. So it's gonna take some time before we see him out in action. Well, what a lap by Big Man Joe. Seals that 2nd fastest spot. Let's go on board SV11, and fun fact for you, Dalvin, SV11, who's currently 7th fastest, was the driver who won the Brazilian GP in Season 3.
That's interesting. How was the weather back then? Was it dry or wet?
If I'm not wrong, it did rain a bit, if my memory serves me right. Maybe Rubs, who's in the chat, who used to commentate back then, who was at that race, could let us know. Not too great at remembering weather.
That's not a problem. I guess we can focus on this race. And we just got info from our drivers. Quali is fully dry as expected, and the race is also fully dry. So we're up for some overtaking actions. Probably not expecting some spins given that it's dry, but it would have been interesting if it's a wet Brazilian Grand Prix. We could have get some Max Verstappen actions here. You never know.
If only. But the drivers are not too happy about rain ever too often. But yeah, support coming through in the chat for Baby Shumi, who's currently sitting 11th fastest.
everyone is in the pits. KDB, Big Man Joe, the contenders for the pole today, all chilling. No one's coming out just yet. Although, saying that, the track is getting busy right now with everyone out for their fast lap for the third ones. Looks like KDB and Big Man Joe are going to leave it till the very end to get the best of the track evolution and also the best gap.
And for the 8 of you all watching, make sure you drop in the chat who you're here for, which driver are you here to support. And if you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It shows your support. 1 minute 7.087 is the time to be beaten to pole position. And all top 3 sitting comfortably in the pits.
And final round of the qualifying starts. Only Kapi giving a tow to his teammate. Was that planned or was that unplanned? We will only know after the race. But now,
all eyes
getting
on
serious. RB Fowler. Is he on a serious lap though? It looks like he may be, but
looking at his timings, like I said earlier, he's definitely trying to last first challenge once again. Hyrox 24, all eyes on him. It seems to have ended up invalidating his lap though, so unfortunate for him. He got a good tow, didn't he, on the main straight?
yeah. But he still has time before he completes the lap and he could recharge his battery and go for it again. Perhaps he's waiting for his teammate to give him another tow. I doubt that, but Harry Rocks is still pushing as if he hasn't invalidated his lap. This man has got some determination today.
Daimler sits at 13th fastest. He's trying to better his lap as well.
Looks like Harry Rocks is going for another lap. He might have fueled up just enough for 2 laps here. And he invalidates at the center SS. That's the end for him.
Fortunate for him.
And that's really unfortunate for him. P9 it is for him for now.
The top 3 are out on their out laps. Question is, will they make it to the line?
Picnic onto the line. Puts it in P3, just 2 tenths behind his teammate and Big Man Joe. That will be a crucial P3, a crucial play for the championship.
Yeah, but there are
2 big men. They are coming on the front run.
There's 15 seconds to go. Sorry to cut you off, Dalvin. Looks like Sicknick is happy with his lap time. He locked up his front left KDB. He started his lap time. Big Man Joe is going to go down to the wire. 2 seconds, 1 second. Crosses the line just in time to start a new fast lap. Big Man Joe's on a fast lap as well. Talk about playing it close to the chest.
It is very close up front. KDB doesn't set the fastest first sector. He's 2 tenths down on his own time. Meanwhile, Big Man Joe, this might be his chance here.
Seems like he's invalidated his lap. Or is that a glitch on my side, Dalvin? You can confirm.
I think that might have been an invalidation. He is slowing down. That's the end for KDB. Big Man Joe also invalidates his lap. So that's the end for everyone.
Avi was on a fast lap time. Could he better his lap and can he go third fastest? No, he doesn't. He'll stick to fourth side. Fastest, he'll start on the second row.
Big Man Joe is down 2 tenths. Seems like he is pushing just to see how far he could have gone. And he slows down at the end.
Yeah.
Good effort by these guys. Tiniest of margin separating P1 and 2, P3 and 4 not too far away. Got a race now.
And Gamble comes across the line to say lap time still will start 13th fastest. Is the man who could possibly win the Drivers' Championship in the BRL today. KDB on pole position.
But as you mentioned, the pole here is a 107.0 and you asked about my pole lap. Looking back on my watts, I did a 106.9. That was barely achieved. And yeah, these guys are pretty rapid as well. Would be great if I can have a race with them one day. Perhaps in the off season.
We'll
Let's
make
see
that
about
happen.
it.
I'll make that happen
Yes.
soon, that's for sure.
Thank you.
Yes, that'd be fun. Darwin right up there with KDB and General Pepe.
That would be a dream
Yep.
combo, right?
Of course, what a grid we've got today. KDB on the front row alongside Big Man Joe. Sick Nig, Avi only copy, putting it in the top 5. Brilliant for him. Mr. Wex 6th fastest. SV11 in the top 10 as well. Guts right up there. Hyrox 24 managing another top 10 in quali. We did see him qualify in the top 10 last race as well. So great performances by the Williams drivers coming out in the last couple of races of the season.
Gambler there, I saw five place grid penalty, so that's unfortunate for him. Although he qualified P13 out of 15, so I guess that 5 place penalty wouldn't be too much of a bother for him. He may drop 1 or 2 places, but he still has the fresh tire options to go. He can go on the softs, on the mediums, or even the hards. And let's have a look at these race strategies as the game loads in. I'm pretty sure somebody is going to bank on the safety car and just go on hards all the way and wait for it to go on the softs at the end. If that happens, I guess I should give myself 1 point for predicting the future, but
Of course.
we never know. It may never happen. The commentator's curse. It happens. It may not happen.
Of course. Yeah. We'll find out soon enough as the drivers sort out their setups for the race formation lap first, and that'll give me a bit of time to make sure the 9 of them watching right now can hear you better, Darwin. Apparently your audio is a bit low, so let's solve that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's, all right. No problem. Perhaps Discord can solve that.
Arguably, maybe not, but yeah, I can.
Yes. Yes, you can.
Yeah.
All right. Looks like we have
What's
some bit of
usually
time to wait.
going on in your head, Dalvin, during the formation lap? I'd love to hear it from a driver's POV.
Please don't hit me from the back. Please don't hit me from the back. Please don't hit me from the back. Literally, that's the first thing that goes on in my mind because given that varying skill levels in the league, right? So we had this pretty much in the early parts of the season where people just outbreak themselves into turn 1 or into corners, and both of y'all get invalidated and disqualified from the formation lap. So I had that once, and I was like, damn it, I'm going to be starting on stone cold tires, and that didn't go down well at all. So that's the first thing that's in my mind. And then the second thing that goes on in my mind is really for race management, try not to take out too much life out of the tires, especially if you're starting on the softs. You've already done 1 qualifying lap on it. You don't want to be putting too much stress on the tires. You want to warm them up just nicely to about 84, 85 degrees. Whereas, the mediums would probably be somewhere around 90, 95 to get the optimal grip off the line. Other than that, I'm just, let's just get a good start off the line and pull away.
Of course.
But it doesn't always happen.
Yeah. Looks like KDB has readied up, which means the rest of the drivers will ready up as well, and we're good to go soon enough. Formation lap.
We're going to see some disqualifications here.
Let's hope not. I always like to believe we don't see a couple of disqualifications, but give me a second, folks. We'll just solve a couple of things on our end.
I'm going to make a bold prediction here. I'm guessing there's going to be 4 disqualifications from the formation lap.
Okay. Quite the prediction. Okay, let's hope I did not mess this up. Hopefully. Okay. Yeah.
Everyone is tiptoeing around the track on the formation lap. KDB is taking it so slowly. I think a turtle might go faster than him at this pace. But that's how sensitive these soft tires are. As fast as they are, they wear out the fastest in the race. So you want to be carrying these soft tires until lap 12 to 15, and then you can move on to the softs, or not softs, I mean, you can move on from the softs to the mediums or the hards.
Of course. Give me a second. Looks like the game has started playing tricks on me. Hopefully, I'll be back soon enough.
Yes. Zadaxter has left the session. Thankfully, he's not racing. Otherwise, it would have been a bad start for him.
Yeah, for sure. Let's hope we don't start the race before I'm back in. Hopefully I can make it in the nick of time.
Be quick there, mate.
Yeah.
They are on the final corner, out of the final corner, so there's probably about half a minute left for you.
Yeah.
Now, everybody's
there.
weaving on the main straight here, just getting enough heat into the tires. I think they've heard me. I think they've heard the tire strategies. I should keep my mouth shut, I guess.
Yeah. I am in. Should be good to go soon enough.
And Q boss. Everyone's lining up on the grid.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah, I think I'm gonna make it, boys.
Zadaxter has joined just in time.
In time, huh?
Nice.
Perfect timing.
And Gambler rounds up the grid in P15. We're ready to go.
Okay, cool. I should make it. Hopefully there's no formation lap glitch of any kind at the very end. I know these are like tricky times to join back into the lobby. Hopefully I'm in at a decent point.
Alright, into turn 1. KDB takes the lead, signaling around the outside track. Overtakes Big Man Joe, but hits his P3. Big Man Joe into P2. Hits his P2. And the grid is pretty much where it started. Everyone is settling in. And there we go. Harry Rock accelerates BRL. Oh, there's some front wing flying everywhere. Someone has picked up damage. Accelerate, falling down the grid. He definitely picked up some damage there. He's understeering into Narnia right now. And someone's down his inside. Honing had a tab with Accelerate. Honing on the mediums. Should be taking this carefully. He doesn't want to spoil his hearts. Almost has to win.
And at the back of the pack, looks like there's quite the fight going on. Vixty56 fighting for position. Irox24 seems to have lost a position or two, but he's close behind SV11. And SV11 has touched Gouts, and Gouts has spun. He's gone off track as well, and so has a Williams behind him.
Gouts has recovered, but how much is he going to lose on straight? Vix is right beside again. Are they going to play the clean game and let Vix?
Two cars drove into the pit lane.
That's level 2. Oh yes, only pit stops there. That might have been Baby Shumi. Yes it is.
Wheel to wheel.
For Baby Shumi.
Irox24 and Horning went wheel to wheel through that sector. Seems like Irox24 is having all sorts of issues because he can't seem to keep it on track, but somehow manages to get back on track. RB Ferrello has climbed into P12, and that's another spinning Ferrari.
Oh, Ferrari and Brazil inseparable.
Fortunate. Up ahead, Gouts losing position to an Alpha Tauri, another Ferrari not having its day.
Arab picks up a 3-second penalty. Only 3 laps into the race and a penalty. It's going to cost him pretty much at the end of the race. Big Man Joe has a penalty here. Signet there, just staying within his DRS.
Quite the fight at the back. Horning trying to take position from Gouts. Should have it going into the last corner, but there's close behind RB Ferrello fighting for position as well. He will take that away from Gouts. Will Irox24 get into the mix as well on the main straight? Gouts is trying to fend off Ferrello, and Irox24 as much as he can. Irox24 dives on the inside.
And he has a spin at the center S, and he loses back the 2 positions. Gouts is carrying some front left and with damage you can see from onboard of RB Ferrello. So Gouts is holding up the pack over here, but only his subs are saving him at the moment. He runs wide, RB Ferrello switch back, and there we go. Perfectly executed by RB Ferrello up into P10, 1 point for him at the moment.
Brilliant stuff by Ferrello there, but right up ahead, Horning taking the fight to Accelerate, who find themselves in a good position after quite some time. Usually don't see him even in the top 10, but great to see him right up there, right behind SV11.
End of sector 1, sector 2. Horning is losing a bit of pace in the middle sector. It is given that the mediums are slow at this point, so I think he's just hanging back with DRS. Probably going to make the move in a lap or two.
Gotta divert your attention to the front of the pack. Big Man Joe closing that gap to KDB. He's got DRS as well. KDB making sure he doesn't give slipstream that Big Man Joe needs. Will stay right close behind. Yeah, Sicknick's gonna close in soon enough on this battle as well, and that will definitely help KDB in more ways than one.
Yeah, but once he closes up, being the third man in the DRS train is never favorable, but you can hang in there easily. Big Man Joe will be challenging KDB, but can KDB defend from Big Man Joe down the pit straight here? It's pretty close. 3 tenths, 4 tenths the gap, 5 tenths now on the exit. Coming on to the last corner, Big Man Joe might go for it again. Gets a pretty good exit.
On the main straight. Seems like he's a bit too off.
Seem to be defending.
Let's go back to the midfield battle. Horning seems to be, Accelerate seems to be having issues. He just teleported 2 places from PA. And looks like he's lost position to both Horning and
Big Man
Ferrero.
Joe going on KDB around the outside to turn 1 and gets a good switch back onto the second straight. Overtake is coming here. KDB defends the inside and they touch a bit, but clean it through. And they live to fight another day. But Big Man Joe is not giving up. Into the second sector, can he dive it down the inside or is he going to play safe? Play safe with it.
He's trying to find a gap, isn't he, as much as he can. But seems like it's costed him. He wrapped up a 3-second time penalty a couple of laps ago already. That's going to cost him. So he'll want to make that overtake stick and make sure he pulls away thereafter. But it's difficult considering this is KDB we're talking about, and Sicknick's not too far behind either.
Big Man Joe deploying his overtake. Gonna go for his last cast attempt. He is down to his last 10%, while KDB is down to his last 15%. He has been deploying and defending hard. These two are fighting tooth and nail for the position here. KDB definitely wants to be playing it safe for the long game here, but no one wants to bail out of a good challenge actually.
Of course, I got to jump to RB Ferrello on the main straight. He's gone wheel to wheel with Horning, and what a move he's pulled off. Up in a P8 from P14 within 6 laps. What a race it's been, and only 6 laps done, 30 laps left, and Sicknick's closing in on Big Man Joe.
Horning keeping close to RB Ferrello through the middle sector. RB Ferrello closing up to SB11. It's a 3-man train for P7 here. And SB11 on the softs is dragging RB Ferrello all the way down the straight. RB Ferrello must be loving this, but there will be a time where RB Ferrello wants to get past and get rid of the soft runners behind him. Very close. RB Ferrello right on the gearbox of SB11 and he's going for the overtake here. He's gaining in the slipstream. No ERS, just the power of ERS alone. Down into turn 1. He's going on the inside. He does go on the inside and takes the position comfortably. SB though gets a good cutback. Is he going to be able to challenge RB Ferrello into turn 3? No is the answer. RB Ferrello pulls away. The mediums coming into play right now. You might see a move coming in from Horning as well in the next lap on SB11.
Possibly. And up ahead, Sicknick's finding it difficult to keep the half-second gap to Big Man Joe. That's extending to almost a second now. It looks good. Avi in a comfortable position, P4. Has no one to worry about close behind, but he's trying his best to close that gap to Sicknick.
Yes, he's in the prime position to benefit from the squabble up ahead. If anyone has to bring damage, that's going to be a podium for him.
Lap number 7. Lap number 8 now. And let's quickly jump over. Looks like Big Man Joe incredibly close on the gearbox KDB, but of course KDB should have the momentum he needs. He'll pull away pretty darn well. Possible move into the next corner from Big Man Joe. Closing in. Going to find it difficult to keep that gap closed in within half a second. Trying his best, however.
He's down to 10% of DRS. That is going to cost him down the straights. Meanwhile, KDB up ahead. Despite being in the lead, he is using his DRS very sparingly. 40%. That's good enough for him to defend for another 2 or 3 attacks. So at the moment, KDB still taking charge of the race and pulling away. Siknik just hanging in there. He must be having a good race here.
Meanwhile, in the midfield, Dalvin Horning tried to close in on SB11. Did try to peek down the inside over at Sector 2, but didn't quite see the gap he needed to make the move stick. And he still runs in P9.
He's getting held up by SV here. RB Ferrello, who made the move on SV 2 laps ago, has pulled out a 3-second gap. And that's going to be a big gap for Horning to cover back, given that he's being held up here. SV11 is not giving up. He is defending with all his might down the straight. So Horning has to chill back for another lap. Perhaps down into turn 3 and 4. He can get it. Big man Joe. The big man picks up another big penalty. 6 seconds to his name now.
Caution for him. Not the most convenient of spots to run in and have penalties racking up. But hopefully, with 9 laps left, it's anyone's guess what's going to happen in the next couple of laps. And yeah, Siknik close behind. At the end of the day, clean races win, don't they?
Yes. It's more important to be consistent and clean than being fast and full of penalties. Time and time we have seen in league races all over the world. It's just consistent enough to stay in front and keep it clean. More often than not, you're going to get the podium place and points over your rivals.
Dalvin, if you could increase your input volume on your side, or perhaps just talk slightly more loudly, it would be great. Seems to have died down a bit.
Oh, no problem.
Much better, but
we'll do that.
Yeah,
and as we speak about it, Horning goes on the move against SV11 into turn 1, covers inside, gets the overtake done, and now he has to defend his P8. SV has DRS on Horning, but I don't think he's going to be making the move. His tires are going off round, and the mediums are really coming into play now.
What a move by Horning on the main straight. Brilliant stuff by him.
Yeah, very patient, very calm and collected, and made the move at the right time. And now he has a 4-second gap to RB Ferrello.
And now with 10 laps done, we see the gaps extending all throughout the pack. The gap between the two front runners is extended over a second now, and similar gaps thereafter.
Yep, KDB pulls out a big one there, 10.2 fastest lap, and he's out of 1 second gap to Big Man Joe. That should give him a buffer to push on for the rest of the stint, while Big Man Joe has to worry about not picking up any more penalties from here on. Siknik as well falling back. Perhaps he's just saving a bit of tires to get towards the end of the stint. Mediums on his next stint. Who knows? Let's see what they decide.
We got a first driver out on track who's pit. It's SB11, and he's got a change of front wing as well, and he's got a fresh set of mediums to work with.
It's a 2-stop though by SV, because this is pretty early for the mediums, but you can do pretty much the whole race, the rest of the race, 125 laps of mediums, but you're going to be very, very tight on tire wear at the end. So he has to make this position count right now and set in some good lap times and hope for another safety car to bail him out at the end.
Gambler goes into the pits as well, and he comes out on a new set of softs.
That's aggressive. Gambler there, definitely going for 2 stops, I guess. Perhaps not having to worry about tire wear. He just wants to push. Oh, and he has a tap with the wall on the exit of pit lane. Will that be another stop for Gambler? We're gonna have to look at the end of this lap. Unfortunate for him. That pit lane catches even the best of us.
Mr. Wex pits as well. Looks like he's taking a bit too long. Is he serving a penalty? But it didn't seem like he had any. So yeah, fresh set of mediums for him.
Might have missed his clutch. That might have been a precious 2 to 3 seconds off the line. Will it bite him at the end of the race? even now against his rivals on track.
Yeah, he's coming
Looks
out.
like he's pretty clear on track.
Coming out in P9, so not the greatest of positions considering he was well ahead. But then again, lot or laps left for the race.
The gaps are starting to open up even more now. Everyone looking after their tires to get till the end. While Gulf picks up a 3-second penalty, He's not close enough, but he is trying to catch up with Baby Shooting here. Both on softs. They're trying to make something work here. Sicknick is the next one to dive into the pits for an undercut. And he goes onto the hards. This is a bold move here, going for the hards. They may not be the fastest right off the bat from out of the pits, but once it's up to speed, Big Man Joe and KDB, they would have to worry. So KDB and Big Man Joe, they're gonna have to pull a big overcut over here. I'm guessing Sicknick is pulling the plug early to pressure on Big Man Joe and help KDB extend the lead up front. It's all gonna unravel in the next few laps here, guys.
3-second time penalty for Hyrox 24 while we were on board Sicknick. He continued to be on board Sicknick. Quite the position he's put himself in, hasn't he?
Yes, he is out in P7, just under 2 seconds behind Honing. If he gets the move done right, that may not be any time loss, but that's the same thing that KDB and Big Manjo has to worry once they are out of the pits. Are they going to come out in traffic? At the moment, it seems like they will be right around Honing if they pit right now. KDB dives in. That might be very tight for him at the exit. Let's have a look. I'm riding on board with KDB here. He goes onto the hards as well.
Same strat as his teammate, but a bit later, of course. Big Manjo stays out on the softs for probably a lap at best.
1 or 2 laps more.
Yep.
That's how long the tires can go, but he will be losing pace right now. KDB comes out just ahead of Honing and clears the Mercedes. Sicknick there, stuck behind Honing, and that's going to be costly for his strategy to put pressure on Big Man Joe. At the moment, KDB will have to do all the heavy lifting by himself to win the championship.
Yep. Only copy racked up a 3-second time penalty when we were talking about the racing points. As it sits on lap number 14, Big Man Joe leads this race quite a while, I must say. The season 3 champion out on track. He wasn't out on track in Brazil last time around, and he ended up
out again.
Yep, and he ended up winning the championship last season, Dalvin, without having to come and race in Brazil.
Well, that's a champion, I guess. So
Yeah.
he knows his strategies. He is staying out for another lap. This is definitely looking like a one-stop onto the mediums. He's banking on the freshness of the mediums and the faster compound to get him through. And for that, he has to pull this overcut. He may be losing some positions right now, right up to the pits, but few laps in, 3 or 4 laps, he will be absolutely quick to challenge Sicknick and KDB for the positions.
Also on the topic of Sicknick, he's up in a P5. He's made that move stick on Honing, but Honing coming back close behind, trying to close that gap to Sicknick and possibly pick that position back from him.
Honing following Sicknick closely, but the old mediums are losing touch to the new hards. Sicknick now has a good gap. 5 seconds to KDB. He needs to close that up by at least 2 or 3 seconds to be close enough to his teammate. And he picks up a 3-second penalty along the way. May not be the best, but at least it's still less than Big Man Joe's penalties.
Going to the back of the pack, however, Accelerate closing in on his teammate. I wonder what the team order will be here. But yeah, a bit far off still. Over half a second gap to SV11. And seems like SV11 lost his footing back then. Avi has finally decided to pit, however.
That promotes KDB and Sicknick into P3 and 4 respectively. RB Ferrello up into P2 now, yet to pit. Big Man Joe stays out for another lap. This man is pulling up the big stretch over here. Some big brain plays coming in. He must be enjoying the fight to disrupt the championship here.
Guys, 11-second
One
gap.
champion's debut to another.
11-second gap to RB Ferrello, however. It's gonna be tricky, isn't it? 15 laps, 16th, we're on the 16th lap as we speak. I mean, he'd be crazy if he stayed out one more lap.
Come on, big man. Dive in. And he is diving in, finally. For that massive overcut, which may or may not work, but by the looks of it, he may be going on to the mediums here. He will easily make 20 laps.
Taking the shortest line, KDB. Big man Joe fitting fresh set of mediums on.
The mediums. It's going to be the battle of the tires here in Interlagos, Brazilian Grand Prix. Quite often,
we see Big Man Joe on the left. He's going to come out wheel to wheel with Sicknig perhaps. No, just misses him. But will tuck in right behind him for the slipstream. But yeah, it looks like Sicknig will stay ahead.
Sicknig definitely lost some time behind Honing, but he made that overcut work here. Big Man Joe managed to keep close to Sicknig here, and that's gonna relieve some pressure out of KDB, because now all Sicknig has to do is hold up Big Man Joe, and Sicknig can enjoy the P2 or 3. KDB goes on to win the race and the championship.
Yeah, but let's not get ahead of ourselves, Dalvin. In the chat, it's Rusty Nish, teammate of RB Ferrello, who calls for a safety car in 5 laps, making sure his teammate ends up winning the race.
Well, I hope there's no, some crash kit stuff going on over here. As we see, some clouds are forming over the race circuit, but as we know, I might have to cut that off. But here we go, Big Man Joe on the charge, makes a move on Sicknig.
What a move! What a move, I must say. Around the outside of Sicknig. Sicknig was trying to take the shortest line on the main straight, but he did a fantastic job. Big Man Joe up in a P3. He's bringing that fight to the racing points, isn't he?
Yeah, both drivers here, P3 and 4, out of ERS, pretty much down to the last 15%. Big Man Joe making that count, and as fresh as he can get on the mediums, and he just made the move stick onto his first lap. Sicknig though is not giving up, he is putting the pressure on. 5-second gap from Big Man Joe to KDB. But important thing to remember, KDB has penalties of 6 seconds, so Big Man Joe currently pretty much he's about 11 seconds effectively behind KDB. Unless, I'm not gonna say it, but it's okay.
Yeah, but yeah, back to the part where we're seeing clouds form, right? RB Ferrello and Honing, they're on 17 lap old mediums, and they're looking at the clouds forming and they're saying, you think we still got a shot at this? RB Ferrello, he's leading this race.
Good old Brazilian Grand Prix always serves up some rain, and by the looks of that cloud, it wouldn't be too far-fetched to say the rain will be coming by lap 25 or even earlier. Although the race predictions said it's going to be dry the whole race. We never know, we're not in the race though.
Honing closing in on Avi, incredibly close, within half a second of him. Shortest gap out on track between two drivers. Yeah, Avi's got going to mean, but Honing has the ERS advantage. We could see a move soon enough. Baby Shumi seems to have pit. His teammate, who was the one of the drivers in the title fight, missing today. Unfortunate for him, but by the looks of it, Racing Point is the done deal for the Drivers' Championship as well, but it's only lap number 19.
Yeah, accelerate, picks up a 3-second penalty. Right on board with Honing once again onto the pit straight. Honing and RB Ferrello, the only two drivers still out on track, haven't made their pit stops, making the mediums work, expecting the rain here. But Avi on fresh mediums, pulls away slightly on the straights and in the corners. Honing, he might be just happy to stay in his DRS and get dragged along. Avi picks up a 3-second penalty as we ride on board with him. And KDB on RB Ferrello then.
But at the back of the pack, Dalvin, quite the fight that's turning out to be. Big C56 and Accelerate. Big C56 late braking into every possible corner just to make sure that gap closes in on Accelerate. Seems to have messed it up in the previous corner, and on the main straight, he doesn't seem nowhere close enough, like how Big Man Joe did. And it seemed like Accelerate just disappeared off my screen, which means he's having issues of sorts.
And yes, he has been demoted to P12. That might have been a very unfortunate desync, but the move is done for Vix. He's up into P10.
That was a
Accelerate
big,
though. Not
That-
giving up.
that was
Chasing.
unusual. But yeah, it is what it is. This game. Up
RB
ahead.
Parallel
Yep.
boxes just before he gets left by KDB. I guess he doesn't want to interfere with the outside, and I think it's about time to beat onto the softs, possibly set the fastest lap for the time being. Only Kapi has disconnected and left. That's unfortunate for him. He was running in the top 10 and he's going to be losing the position to SV and everyone else behind him.
Yeah, he seemed to have rejoined, however, so that's great. But yep, a lot of time lost in the process. We've got a 13-second gap to Mr. Wex, who right now seems to have gone wheel to wheel as one of the drivers come out of the pits. It's RB Ferrello on a fresh set of softs close to Mr. Wex.
Mr. Wex is going to have a good time defending over here. Fresh softs, the sweetest thing that you'll ever want on earth. Sweeter than a jalebi, but these softs are going to make you very, very quick in the corners and giving you the best exit possible. And RB Ferrello, I don't think he wants to waste any time. Oh, as we speak about that, Mr. Wex has a spin out of the corner and RB Ferrello pulls away. As simple as taking candy from a baby. But there we go.
And Accelerate closing in on Victory 5-6 has been trying for quite some time now, within half a second of him. But yeah, he's got guts to worry about. Not really. Yep.
And Horning dives into the pits. That was a pretty late turning by Horning there, cutting the pit lane entry. Not sure if the stewards will have a look at that, but that was a pretty dangerous entry. He could have ended his race by hitting the wall there. Fortunate to keep his wing, to keep his suspension all on track.
We ended up missing that, but we pit with 5-lap old medium, so I guess with that change of front wing, it was incredibly necessary to get that change done. So he's on a fresh set of mediums coming out, and Horning's coming out of a fresh set of softs, much like RB Ferrello did.
Nikapi gets past Horning on the exit of pit straight, but Horning now on the softs is going to be on the charge to get the final few points position. Every point matters. P6, P5 in his mirrors.
There's 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane for Hyrox 24. Unfortunate for him. And at the back, the fight continues. Accelerate on the gearbox of Vixie 5-6. Hopefully D-Sync doesn't play into anyone's hands this time around. Incredibly close, these two drivers, the AlphaTauri and Ferrari.
Jumping on to the back straight, P6 and 7, Kapi and Horning. Horning is on the attack. Kapi seems to be defending this, but not too hard. Kapi is on the hard tires, and he knows Horning on the fresh softs is going to be way quicker, and he concedes the position.
Up in P6 goes Mr. Horning. We're back to that fight. At the back, seems like Vixie 5-6 dives in a pit lane. Accelerate almost got steered off into the wall, but will hold on to that position. He's up into the points, but for how long is the question. He's on the hard tires. Vixie 5-6, however, puts on a fresh set of softs, like you mentioned.
Softs for 30 laps will do the distance. I'll pretty much get him till the end, unless there's another safety car or some sort of an event. Everyone's gonna be on fresh set, probably level playing field. 2 stops for some of them, 1 stop to those who can make the tire wear till the end. RB Ferrello stealing the fastest lap on his fresh softs, 109.2. What a good lap from him.
And all the folks in the chat, Dalvin, are begging for a safety car, and seems like Accelerate desynced out of Gautz's way.
Well, one thing better than safety car in Brazil is rain, but looks like we're not going to get either of those. So we're just going to have to hope someone provides us some on-track action, and for everyone on the, at the end of the side to have a good look on the battles here. Up front though, nothing's much changed. KDB giving his 5-second gap to Big Man Joe. KDB on the hards, as well as his teammate in P3. They're both on the hards. They're sandwiching Big Man Joe, who's on the mediums, and Big Man Joe seems to be pushing now, although he might not even make it to KDB by the end of the race.
possibly. 11 laps left.
Yeah, the longer it goes, I think the mediums are going to be even weaker at the end. The hards are just going to be superior at the end. So look out for the last 5 or 6 laps. That's why Sicknick might make another attack on Big Man Joe. Right now he's just biding his time, chilling within 3 seconds of Big Man Joe.
Yeah, that's smart of Sicknick, isn't he? He's aware that as long as he's within 3 seconds of Big Man Joe, he's set himself for a good position. Yeah.
Accelerate here on Gouts. That's a bit too far ahead on the softs. He is on 2 stops, so he is on the fresher set of tires and probably will pull away.
Surely will. And lap number 25. For those of you watching, make sure you drop in the chat who you're here for. Who do you think will come out on top at the end of 30 laps? Let's say 30 laps. It goes a bit far wide there, over the curbs, beyond the curbs in fact.
We have a yellow in sector 1. Might have been Sicknick or Big Man Joe. Someone's losing a bit of time. Might have been Big Man Joe.
Yeah, perhaps. Seems like Sicknick's closing in fact. Yeah, all good as it stands on the 26th lap.
Horning makes a move on Mr. Vex. No, actually Mr. Vex pits again for the second stop and goes on to a set of softs. He's going to be another one who's going to be making some late charges through the field. Although there's pretty big gap up ahead. He's going to be catching RV, only Kapi and then Horning. So P6, P5 up for grabs for him.
Gambler pits as well. Fresh set of mediums on. Looks like how he's closing in on only Kapi. Let's get the penalties on board for folks to look at. Vix 56 with 12 seconds in penalties.
Just as you speak about penalties, Gambler picks up another 3 seconds from the back.
Not the greatest.
Obviously, he close to Kapi here. Move might be coming. Avi has to defend. Sorry, Avi has to. He is attacking. Beat DRS and DRS gets a slipstream, pulls to the outside. And we have seen so many moves completed around the outside, but Kapi is not giving up. He defends the inside, gets a better run through the center asses. Avi gets a second bite of the DRS. This time Kapi gets the DRS. That's surprising. He might have been at the back for the detection zone. Quite lucky for Kapi, and he keeps his P6 for now. But for how long?
It's quite unusual, isn't it? Kapi getting the DRS. But yeah, Avi will keep that gap within half a second and should be able to get the move done on this lap at least. Only Kapi running in the points, great for him. Hyrox 24 lost out on running in the points, having qualified in them. He's down in P14.
Got a yellow here. Mr. Vex is pains in the infield section. Luckily, he's still on the black stuff and keeps the car on track and makes a good recovery onto the last sector.
2-second time penalty for Sicknick now.
Sicknick! There we go.
Looks like that 3-second gap he had isn't going to really help him to Big Man Joe. Avi trying his best to close that gap to Only Kapi. Locks up the front left. Will stay behind Only Kapi, I'm sure. But going in the next corner, he should have what he needs.
ERS and DRS down the shorter straight here. Kapi is defending. Avi down the inside. He makes a dive side by side into the midfield section.
Brilliant racing by these two.
Who's going to come out ahead? The braver one will get it. And Kapi keeps the inside. Keeps the position for now. Side by side. Avi getting the cutback line again. Going for the wider line for a better exit. This is going to go on for another lap for sure.
It is, isn't it? We saw them go head to head beautifully. And of course, they made sure they gave each other just enough space to make sure no one ends up going off track in any way. Brilliant racing by these two. Only Kapi and Avi for P6.
Focus on the mediums here. He made his second stop, so his mediums are definitely the freshest among these two. And he goes for another move
Around the outside.
Around the outside, and cleanly done this time.
Seems like only Kapi might have had a disconnection. Unfortunate for him, especially while being in that incredible fight with Avi.
Audi will just say thanks and take the position and pull out the 3-second gap that he needs to only Kapi. As Kapi has a 6-second time penalty, while Kapi has 3 seconds, while Avi has 6. So Avi just needs to pull out the 3-second gap.
He needs to have, doesn't he? But yeah, Kapi doing an incredible job at keeping close behind Avi. But yeah, it looks like he's having a bit of an issue, as it seems. But I did see him glitch quite a few times. But yeah, up ahead, Avi Ferrero looks like he's in a brilliant position. He's within 4 seconds of Sicknig. 6-second time penalty for Sicknig, 6 seconds for Big Man Joe. Avi Ferrero for podium.
Avi Ferrero here, he is looking for a good P2 here. It would have been a very good comeback after a disappointing Brazilian Grand Prix for him. And yes, Sattar, like you said, he is catching up. 3.6 the gap to Sicknig now. If it ends here, he pretty much gets P3. He just has to get close enough to RB Ferrell, to Sicknig and Big Man Joe to steal away the P2. As we get him yellow in the midfield, just up ahead, Sicknig, he might be under pressure here.
He's back to only Kapi. Yep, I'm assuming the game is playing tricks on him once again. So unfortunate, that was such a beautiful battle we got to witness. A brilliant, healthy wheel-to-wheel battle through sector 1 and 2, wasn't it?
Yes, and Mr. Vex now closing up to only Kapi. The gap has gone down from about 6 seconds down to 4. He still needs to catch up faster, man. Come on, he can do it. P7, P6, P5, it's all there for grabs. If only he gets these last 6 laps right, he will be in a better position.
31st lap, and if there's one person who's disappointed right now, it could possibly be General Pepe. Unfortunately, we really did think he'll go down to the wire to the last race, but seems like KDB is set to win this race and win this championship as well. 5 laps left, however. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
RB Ferrello running on board. This man is on a charge. 2.6, 2.5, almost the gap to Sicknig. He is not settling for P4 easy. He's definitely going for the P2 over there. He can see it on his MFD. I'm pretty sure the 6-second penalties on Big Man Joe, he wants to get it done. Right now, it's a 7-second gap. It's doable.
Support coming through for Big Man Joe in the chat. Racing 32nd lap, so I guess we won't be getting what we wanted, Dalvin. No rain, and chat won't be getting what they wanted, which was safety car. 4 laps left, so let's hope not.
Well, even if the safety car comes on now, it's probably going to last about a lap before we get 2 or 3 more laps of racing. That will be interesting. It's more like a 3-lap shootout.
Got to divert your attention to a battle which is happening in the midfield. Gouts going wheel to wheel with SV11. Around the outside. SV11 tried to peek around the outside once again to get that position back, but really moved by Gouts around the outside. He goes up in a P9 and looks like a couple of lap cars getting in the mix as well of Accelerate and SV11.
Good move by Gouts there. 9 laps pressure mediums compared to SV, and Taiwan coming in clutch for him over there.
Baby Shumi, the only car out there on track within a second of Accelerate. Trying his best to get a position or 2 right before the race ends on lap number 33. Tell
you what, P2 to P4, the gap now is under 6 seconds. RB Farlow, he will be looking for that P2. He can sniff it, but the question is, will he want to risk it and go for the on-track position, or will he keep it safe and go for P2 or P3?
If he loves to do last to first challenges, he just might go for that on-track position challenge too, won't he?
One loves the challenge, and he is getting ever so closer to Siknik there.
SV11 racks up a 3-second time penalty. Shot on the ERS, lap number 34. KDB leads this race.
Fellow throwing the car into the corner, you can see the car just sticks onto the soft tires. It's pretty much like a real life Red Bull. It's just sticking in the corners and doing the favors for him. Less than 2 seconds the gap to Siknik, while Siknik is just under 3 seconds behind Big Man Joe. That's a P2 confirmed for RB Farlow right now.
Yep. RB Farlow went a bit wide going into that corner, but yeah, we'll stay P4 for now. Looking mighty well in terms of position for the race, and 3-second time penalty for Avi, who's running P6. Leading this race. Quite the last 2 laps this is going to be. Probably not as much wheel-to-wheel action as we saw between only Kapi and Avi. But one thing's for sure, knowing the result we're going into lap number 35, this man, KDB, what a season he's had. I'll give you the rundown in just a bit, Dalvin. But yeah, for now, all eyes on RB Farlow. 1.5 seconds and he's not stopping, is he?
No, he's not. 1.5 seconds. It's more than enough for him. He's probably going to be within DRS, and he picks up a 3-second penalty. RB Farlow, that is going to be costing him that P2 that he was going for. But that's 3 seconds less than Siknik. Still, that means P3 is within his reach.
RB Farlow, caution mistake for him. He'll be on the podium, which means Siknik loses out on a podium. Would have been nice to see both racing points on the podium. And yeah, Rusty Nish, teammate of RB Farlow, in chat expressing how disappointed he is that penalty popped up at that moment. But yeah, lap number 36. Let's just talk about KDB. What a season it's been, because when General Pepe entered into the league, it's his first time in the Bwoah Racing League. Everybody said in the start of the league, it's General Pepe. He's got the driver's title sorted and constructor's title too, because he didn't really need a really great teammate to perform either. That's how dominant everyone expected General Pepe to be. But yeah, a real step up in terms of performance by the Racing Point drivers, both KDB and Siknik for the constructors. They got that seed last race, and today General Pepe, he had a shot. He had a shot at possibly stalling KDB from getting the championship.
But yeah, cut you off there. He's on his last few meters for the championship. KDB, take a bow,
8
man.
wins. He slows down at the finish line. 8 race wins this season. He wins the Brazilian GP. 10 race wins overall in the Bwoah Racing League. New all-time win record. KDB.
Take a bow. Take a seat. You got the season. I'm expecting a last to first challenge in the next race. This is going to be interesting. Go on, but everyone's going to go for it. Big Man Joe brings up P2, and RB Farlow with an extraordinary comeback there, up into P3. Only 8 tenths away from Big Man Joe. Unfortunate for the penalty, but he will be happy with the 3rd podium there. Siknik, unfortunate again to miss out on penalties, but he did the job for his teammate to secure the P1. Great team play, great play shown by the Racing Points here. P4 for him. Honing also with the alternate strategy brings up P5.
Yep. new all-time race win record, winner of the Brazilian GP of Season 4, and the BRL Drivers Champion for the second time around, if my metrics are right, from Season 1 and Season 2. I don't usually talk about Season 1 and Season 2 because I wasn't there during those 2 seasons. But yeah, KDB, 2-time Drivers Championship winner and 10 times a race winner in the league.
Ricciardo picks up the driver of the day, rightfully deserved, with that awesome comeback, making the alternate strategy work. It's pretty OP, and he does it well, and he's gonna be happy to take it home.
Yep. Brilliant podium. Big man Joe finishing P2. Harvey Ferraro.
Brilliant race as well. Brazil always delivers.
Quite the action.
Yep.
Beautiful. Incredible. Yes, of course, Rusty Innes says he should have joined just to make sure a safety car came out for RB Ferraro, his teammate.
Well, it's all hindsight. Hindsight is just 2020. You know, if it's something's gonna happen, if you know, well, then you could react to it. But this is the reality of league racing. Anything happens at any time. Someone could spin and bring out a safety car. Someone could have a massive crash and it doesn't bring out any safety car at all. And it just happens. You gotta be ready and react and keep it consistent, and that's how you win the championship. Congratulations once again to KDB for being the champion of BRL, and we'll see you all in the next race.
Of course, incredible race today. Hope all of you all watching enjoyed it. 6 of you all who stayed till the very end, thank you very much. We'll see you again in the next race, a new race winner perhaps, but the title fight has ended. KDB, new BRL champion.